And we are live. My name is Nico Lagan, and I'm too conservative for the conservatives. My co-host, Rob Ambrose, not woke enough for the liberals. We are the political orphans. Make sure to like this video, and as always, we want to hear from you. So make sure to leave us a comment in the comment section. Join the conversation. Here are the main topics of the day. Rise Up for Gaza protests took place all over Canada yesterday. Tim Hortons is set to raise its prices. And finally, Carney is heading back to Washington to sit down with Trump. Get your comments ready because the show starts now. What's going on, man?
What's happening, brother? How's the weekend?
Right now. How's the weekend? Working on making this show better, working on trying to get cool guests like who we have coming to the show tomorrow.
Do you want to spoil that?
Maxime Bernier back on the show. Yeah. We're gonna have Maxime Bernier.
Mad Max.
Yeah, Maxime's coming back to talk about I don't know if you saw that, but I was just on my I was just browsing X, and he posted that the AFN national chief Cindy Woodhouse in Nepinak is saying that she is reporting him to the police for a hate crime for a post that he made last week about the Orange Shirt Day, Reconciliation Day, which, funny enough, my post was as bad as his. So I saw the post, and yeah, he's going to join us tomorrow to talk about that post, what it means. But it seems that censorship in Canada has started.
Yeah. I guess we'll see. That'll be a good conversation. Looking forward to it. Might be a little hard to understand, but we'll do our best. He's got that strong Francais accent.
By the way, man, yesterday's show, fuck, man, I think I was
just looking at that. Is that 14,000 views?
On Jason, yeah, we collaborated on something and we're at 14 or 15,000 views, but we had Katie from the ostrich farm, right? Universal Ostrich Farm.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, so we had her for 2 hours. We spoke. Leighton Gray was there. We had Dr. Pollock, which he's not a virologist, but he did a lot of the testing on the eggs of the ostriches, but his testimonial was not considered in the ruling of the Supreme Court because he testified in court, but they chose not to. They ignored his testimonial as a scientist, as a doctor's. I guess they only follow the science when the science works for them, right?
Well, everyone knows that, right? That's how it works.
Yeah.
Follow the science.
Yeah, but Yep. So basically, the show was great. The episode's doing super well. So those mashups are awesome, man. Like for the people out there, if you haven't heard about our mashup, 9 to 11 p.m. on Saturday Eastern time, it's a fucking boss. We never know where they're gonna end up, but we always end up with some great guests. So if you want to see some unhinged conversation where even guys like Leighton Gray swears because I enable people to swear on that show. I'm the only ones dropping F-bombs and people feel comfortable doing it, so works for me, man. Good show, man. I'm just gonna say I really like this show. I know I'm putting them together with Levine. I'm kind of biased, but hey, I think we're doing a good job.
They're a lot of fun. Easy there. You don't want to strain yourself, pat yourself on the back too hard. But yeah, Mel G, Alberta Independent says, loving the mashups. He also says there's a Tim Hortons in the north end of Calgary that was shut down due to a significant amount of flies. Yeah, I wonder why that is. Shut down to a significant number of LMIAs. A significant number of
or the lack thereof.
Temporary
lack thereof. What's going on, you dog? What's going on, brother? So, guys, little announcement for you guys, by the way. We are going to shorten this show to 1 hour because we're finding that 2 hours is hurting the algorithm. So it's hurting us in the algo. So we're going to try to go an hour and see what happens if that can spread better, because it's almost impossible to spread a 2 hour show. Nobody does that. It's just us. So a mashup on a Saturday when you have people with all massive audiences is a different story.
Yeah.
But for the type of show that we do, I think it's impossible. At least it's extremely difficult. So
Yep. Now,
we're going to go an hour. We're going to try to keep it shorter. And not only that, but I just want to put it out there. I started redoing my own show, The Unwoken with Nico Lagan. I had an interview with Ted Kuntz just this week on Saturday about the first deadly case of measles in Alberta. So we addressed it. So I want to do more of those. Like I'm going to try to go live every day for half an hour. So hopefully one day you choose to do the same thing. And because I'm building up the YouTube channel so that we can have a bunch of dedicated shows under the Political Orphan platform, like the umbrella. I'm going to call it the Political Orphan Network or the Political Orphan News. But
I think that's a good idea. New Dog says, Rob, nice background. Finished the move already. Yes, this is my new place. Moved in, all good to go. A little bit still left to unpack, but that's in my bedroom, so that's not out here. But
nobody cares. Nobody cares about your bedroom.
Lots of people care about my bedroom. Believe you me. Wise Guy says, yes, I was happy you did at the Orphans. I don't think we'll save the ostrich, but my goal is to bring the issue to the public, and we've been successful at that. Yeah, Wise Guy's been banging this ostrich drum since the very beginning. I think it was Wise Guy that really got us tuned into it. But
he got me to it 100%. It's all on Wise Guy. This one is 100% him. He's the one that put it to my ear. Then I met David Creighton, and David Creighton drills it in my head every time.
And then we started, and then we started on it pretty hard for a while. But Wise Guy. I don't know if you did catch the matchup last night, but we had the.
He was there.
Oh, he was there. Okay, cool.
Oh yeah. No, he was there. Wise Guy likes.
Wise Guy's there, front row, fucking eating popcorn.
Yep. No, he was definitely there. It seems like Wise Guy's always there.
Wise Guy's been with us from the beginning, pretty much. As long as we've had this show, there's been a Wise Guy. Yeah,
it's needed.
It's
needed.
I mean, we've got a handful of people who've been here pretty much since the beginning.
Funny enough, Sylvie's there, so hey guys, did well.
Hey, thanks,
show
Sylvie.
The other night. Well, there you go.
Wow,
that's about the first compliment.
First nice thing. That's high praise from Sylvie. That's and actually, Sylvie's another one of the regulars from way back in the olden days. Yeah, Wise Guy was first.
Buddies, right?
No. That's, we appreciate that loyalty.
Yeah, before 100%. Before we get started, I just want to say, make sure to like this stream. If you're on X, make sure to like, make sure to comment, make sure to restream this stream. This is how you can help us on X. If you are on the YouTube, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, hit that little bell thingy that's right next so that you can see when we're going live, because I'm telling you, I'm going to be at least going live all over the place now. So make sure to follow us, to not only subscribe, but that little bell thingy so it tells you when one of us is going live. And make sure to comment. And if you want to support what we do, there is a chance to do the YouTube subscription, or you can buy us a coffee at the Poly Orphans on Buy Me a Coffee. Now, let's get started, because we're trying this new 1 hour format, see what we can do. But here is a quick topic. Finally, Carney is going back to the U.S. to speak to Trump.
Mark Carney is going back for round 2, a meeting with President Donald Trump at the White House next Tuesday.
Would you like to say a few words?
Well, thank you, Mr. President. I'm on the
because you haven't said anything yet?
It'll be his first since this one in May.
With Donald Trump, you really never know, do you? I mean, the Prime Minister is heading once more into the lion's den.
Carney is already in a pressure cooker.
We hope the visit and meeting is a great success.
Opposition leader Pierre Poilievre is once again calling on Carney to make good on his commitment to get a new trade deal with the U.S.
Carney had promised that he would have a deal by July 21st. And here we are in October. There's no deal, and the American tariffs have doubled on Canadian industry under Carney's watch.
This trip comes just days after Trump made yet another quip about Canada joining the United States, while telling American military officials Canada wants to be part of a missile defense system.
To which I said, well, why don't you just join our country? You become 51, become the 51st state, and you get it for free.
Canada's point person on U.S. trade says he's optimistic some sort of agreement.
So that's about all we need, but I played that. I don't remember. I think I played it on here too, because this to me is hilarious. I can't believe that the liberals are still getting butthurt by that one when he says become the 51st. It's hilarious. He's like a child. He's fucking with people and people are biting. And guess what? He's going to fucking continue doing it until you stop paying attention to him. But we're not going to stop paying attention. So guess what? He's never going to stop until he's not president anymore. But all to say, Carney's going back to Washington, and we all remember what happened last time. Nothing. He looked like an idiot. He wasn't allowed to speak. He tried to raise his hand. Do you remember that? He was kind of raising his hand like, can I talk here? Like Zelensky had more balls than fucking Carney in the White House. So that tells you a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's going back. But, oh, hold on. I forgot. The reason I'm bringing this up is not even because he's going back, really, is because of Doug Ford. I don't think I've ever seen a biggest cheerleader of a politician before. I don't think I've ever seen a politician cheerlead for another politician that is not part of his party as much as Doug Ford is cheerleading for Mark Carney before. I've never seen anything like it, but Biggie, Doug Biggie.
Yeah, white Biggie. What the white BIG.
Yeah, white Biggie is going at it again.
That we have your backs. We will not waver. A message to the Prime Minister. You're going down there Tuesday. You better fight like hell. Don't roll over and keep fighting. You hear President Trump. We don't need Canada. I'll tell you, they need Canada. That we have.
Well, there you go. So Ford is championing Mark Carney once again. And I've never seen somebody.
I don't really get Ford's whole thing.
He's a conservative. I don't get it. I just don't understand it.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely running. Officially a conservative. He definitely tacks pretty hard to the center and even the left. I guess there's a method to the madness, because last time I checked, his approval ratings were pretty good. I mean, he's in a pretty liberal province, but at the end of the day, why not just run as a liberal then, if you're going to be one?
Yeah, but he is definitely a liberal, but so is Pierre Poilievre, right? So it's not really surprising. But once again, I'll never get that one, because in Canada, the conservative, like right now, they're supposed to be the opposition. Basically, they're supposed to disagree with everything that the liberals are doing. That's their job, is to disagree, and it's up to the liberals to convince them that they're right.
Yeah.
And people complain, they're like, why is Pierre Poilievre and the conservative not backing Carney? I'm like, that's kind of their job. They're not even conservatives, but that's still what they're supposed to be doing. Yet Dougie is just balls in. Everything is in, and he's just fucking proning Carney. I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen a conservative back a liberal PM that much before. I've never seen it.
And it's really, I think it's really jarring, like, because he combines that with like this obvious dislike of Poilievre. And I mean, okay, sure, it's fair. I mean, there's a lot of things to dig on Poilievre for, but like, you're still a conservative, right? You still have to at least pay some lip service to the fact that this guy's in your party, right? And while you're giving hand jobs over here to Mark Carney. But yeah, I don't really get Ford's whole thing.
Yeah, I don't get it either. I don't get it. And he doesn't want to deal with Pierre Poilievre, which is in the same party as him.
Yeah. It's I don't get it.
It makes no sense to me. Absolutely no sense.
Again, like, I guess you could say, I'm sure if he were here, he'd be like, well, look at my approval ratings. Then I guess, if that's all you care about. But like, then why even be a conservative? Why even run into the conservative party? Why not just be a liberal?
Yeah, true. New Dog saying Ford's a Sino.
Yeah,
Sino,
conservative in name only.
He's a con lib. I would remove the con from there and just say he's a liberal. I wouldn't even put it in there. Sylvie saying that Netanyahu has made 4 official visits to the U.S. this year.
Well, he needs to.
Yeah.
He got to keep that money
Yeah.
flowing. I think Israel and Netanyahu, I think they understand that, you know, their brand has taken a huge hit over the past couple of years, right? I don't believe, I don't think the word genocide is appropriate. Like, I don't think it fits what's going on, but maybe war criminal, you know, war crimes, that might fit. You know, there's a lot of unpopular things they're doing. And, you know, it's like we talk about a lot on the show. Personally, I don't think either of us give a shit. It's not really our concern. There's real shitty things being done on both sides. It's really one of those things. You can't pick. There's no good guys here.
No, but I think I don't know if that was the point of Sylvie. At least that's the point I'm going to make from her comment, is that Netanyahu came from all the way from Israel at least 4 times this year. Carney, that's literally driving distance for a few hours. I've driven through Washington many times from Montreal, so Ottawa's not that much further. He's basically, I don't know if that's what she meant, but that's how I'm taking it. And yeah, it's, if Israel understands that, we need to understand it as much as Israel, because our brand is also taking a hit. That brand being our economy is taking a hit, and we need to deal with the US. And no matter what, like we've been saying for 9 months, you and I now, we do not have any fucking leverage. So Doug Ford can scream all he wants. We don't have any leverage. The US does. We need to come up. We need to realize this. It's time now. Elbows Up has hurt us enough. 10 years of liberal policies were enough. Prior to this, we don't need more. It's time to make a fucking deal. He needs to put his elbows up and start sucking cocks in the U.S. That's what Carney should be doing.
You do what you got to do, man. Fucking face down. Face down.
That's what leaders do, man. That's what leaders do, man.
That is,
you got to do the hard stuff.
I mean, that is so. They do the, again. The key word here is leverage. We don't have it.
No.
When you have it, you swing the dick around. When you don't, you take the dick. You know, and it's time to take it. It's time to take it. Right?
For the people out there, Rob knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, I know my way around a dick.
Let's just be all honest with each other here.
Guys, if you're just doing it in, that's not. I don't actually. It's not true.
Yeah,
my own, I suppose.
Wise guy's absolutely right. Hey, Nico, he managed to set foot in basically every single country except the one he just backed for statehood. Too bad. Wish he had.
Well, you know why. You know why that is. He ain't going there.
No.
They don't try. He like it. Guys, people like him, like, you know, they'll go and, well, not even people like him, but, you know, people will go out and they'll go out and do the parades, do the marches, but like they would never go there. You know, it's like Queers for Palestine, right? Like, you know, they're out there marching, but they know they'd be thrown off buildings if they headed there.
See, that's the thing. I don't know if they actually believe that or not. I don't think they do. I really do not believe that the average individual there that goes to those rallies, the Queer for Palestine, I do not think they would understand the consequences of their actions. I really don't think. I think they're that indoctrinated. I'm trying not to call them stupid. I'm trying not to call people names, but I think they're that indoctrinated that they do not realize what's actually going on in those places, because they've never been around these type of individuals. They have no idea, or if they have, they don't know what they really stand for. Like, none of them has opened the Quran and started reading it to try to understand what that religion of peace is all about. They don't want to understand that Hamas is a terrorist organization. Like, whatever however you feel between what's going on between Israel and Palestine, like I've said a million times, there's wrongs on each side. And I want to concentrate on our problems instead of what the fuck is going on overseas. But it's impacting us here. Like, the Free Palestine protests are all over the place. And this is the main topic of the day, man. Did you see all the protests that happened yesterday. It's absolutely insane, man. It's everywhere in Canada. Then I started digging, and turns out that it was a worldwide event yesterday. And I'm going to have to dig into this more because I went down a rabbit hole earlier as I was looking at this, because it started in Montreal. I just saw it in Montreal. I'm like, hey, I wonder where else this happened. I found the group that organized it. That group is linked to groups in Ottawa, to groups in Toronto. I started looking then. Do you remember, what was her name? The student on the student from Concordia.
Concordia, Anastasia something, right?
Anastasia, yeah, from so Anastasia from was a guest that we had a couple of weeks ago. She's on the student body for Concordia University, and she was talking about their school year, their guidebook for the year, their student book. And she texted me earlier, and she's like, "Hey, have you heard of this? There's a protest that's going to happen on October 7th in Concordia. Concordia has event planned with Toronto University. They have event planned with Ottawa University. Then there's groups running protests in Ottawa, Ontario, in Ottawa, Toronto, Montreal. Then it starts to link to the US. I started digging, bro, earlier. I'm going to show you. It's absolutely insane. So on one side, Hamas is saying that they partially accepted the Trump deal, like the Trump peace deal that he made. So I'll just play a video, and then I'll show you the rabbit hole that I ended up in. That's kind of worrying me, man. Tomorrow I'm going to spend a couple hours digging further into this, because this is kind of scary, because I want to know who funds this. I want to know if this is connected to the Canadian hate. What was it? The Canadian hate. What was the last portion? Remember?
That we
Jason
talked about
from
the other
Warrior
day.
Top. Yeah, Jason from Warrior Top. Hold on.
Hate network or something.
Yes, exactly. The Canadian Anti-Hate Network. I want to see if it's connected to that, because there's no way a bunch of 20-year-old students are funding all of this. There's no way that there's a worldwide organization like what I'm going to show you in a few minutes that's been funded by those students. Something is behind this, and I fucking want to know, because there's proof that the Canadian Anti-Hate Network has funded Antifa. It's been proven in court that they have funded Antifa in the past. So who's to know if they're not behind that? But I'm going to play this because this is what makes no sense to me. So Hamas partially accepted Trump's peace deal, but as you'll see afterwards, people are still complaining and still protesting.
Hamas said it is partially accepting elements of a peace plan set by President Trump. Hello, everybody. I'm Heather Hayes.
I'm Steve Eager. It's 9 o'clock. President Trump has told Israel to stop bombing the Gaza Strip. Hamas says it will return all remaining hostages, but wants to negotiate more on several other aspects of the deal. Fox 4's Casey Stiegel in studio with some of those details. Casey.
Steve, Heather, good evening. President Trump had set a Sunday evening deadline for Hamas leaders to agree to a ceasefire deal. The militant group responded in writing this afternoon, agreeing to parts of the proposal, while Israel has yet to comment. President Donald Trump releasing a video statement late Friday, hinting all sides were now one step closer to reaching a deal to end the nearly 2-year-long war between Israel and Hamas.
Everybody was unified in wanting this war to end and seeing peace in the Middle East.
It's the best war.
And we're very close to achieving that.
Beautiful.
But he stopped just short of waving the victory flag.
Oh, yeah.
Turns out we have to get
So victory flag to be waved yet?
Word
Not yet.
in concrete.
Hamas posted a statement online Friday saying it would release the remaining hostages so long as field conditions for the exchange are met, though the group did not clarify what those conditions were or what the timeline looks like. Other key parts of the deal were also not addressed, such as whether the group will give up its arms or whether it agreed to be barred from exercising future political power in Gaza. Still, key European leaders praising the announcement. UK's Prime Minister Keir Starmer saying on X, we call
Keir Starmer.
Yeah, I'm going to stop it there because that guy is absolutely going absolutely insane. Well, no, let me rephrase that. He's not going insane. He's doing exactly what he's wanted to do for a long time. But that the UK, we need to
Oh
learn
yeah,
from
the
what's
UK,
going on in the
is
UK.
fine. The UK
We
is
need,
a
we
lot of
really,
weird
really,
shit.
really, really need to pay attention to what's going on in the UK.
I agree.
And because we're headed exactly where the UK is going. If
Hang on
Bill
one second.
C2, C8, C9, C63, if Bill C2, C9, C2, C8, C9, Bill C63, if they pass, we're headed the exact same way, same direction as the UK is going. Getting arrested for tweets, that's just a matter of time. Like I said earlier, we're going to have Maxime Bernier on the show tomorrow because he's been said that, who was the name of that lady? The AFN National Chief, Cindy Woodhouse Nepinak, said that she is reporting him to the police for a hate crime. So it seems that Canada is heading down the path of being punished for hate crime. They're going to start with politicians, I guess, or a politician. But all to say that if we're not careful, what's happening in the UK is going to start happening here, and we're going to talk about it with Maxime Bernier tomorrow. But what I found, the reason I wanted to talk about this is I cannot, so it seems I'm gonna go by what we're being told here, that there's finally some type of agreement. At least the door has finally been open after 2 years, where Hamas seems to be at least considering a peace deal. So is obviously Israel, and that was all ushered in by Trump. But what I don't understand, what I don't understand, and this is what sent me through this whole crap earlier today, is why are people still protesting? Because it's all over the place. Like the Free Palestine had an event yesterday, and it really, really blew my mind. So I want to show you this, because this is where it all started. And if you saw the intro of the show, that was the protest in Montreal, and it seems that there were more than 15,000 people yesterday protesting in Montreal, and it was all organized by a group called PYM Montreal. So I started looking, and this was the event that went on yesterday. So 2 years of genocide, rise up for Gaza on October 4th, International Day of Action. So this is what you saw. This is the video itself. Tens of thousands of Montrealers, and the estimates are around 15,000 people in Montreal alone were protesting for 2 years after the start of the Zionist aggression on Gaza, to demand an end to the genocide, to end an end to the Canadian complicity, and an immediate two-way arms embargo.
No, sorry, finish up.
No, go for it, man. Oh no, this is gonna take me a while, man. Go for it.
I was just gonna say, like, to your question, like, why are they still protesting? Because I honestly, I don't really even think it was ever actually about Palestine. I think it's just the woke left flexing its muscles. I think it's just we're here and we're gonna do whatever the fuck we want. Because like you said, it looks like there's gonna be some sort of resolution here. Hamas is going to release a hostage, which I take to mean they've killed them all or they've all died, and now they're going to give bodies back in exchange for whatever. But there is clearly, we're getting further and further closer to some sort of a resolution here. There was really no need for these kind of protests, but they've gotten, they've picked up steam. There was that we talked about it last week, that terrorist attack in Manchester. What's really disgusting about that is they had these huge pro-Palestine protests like the next day. And in fact, there was actually like a spontaneous sort of celebration among the pro-Palestine crowd as that happened, just because of the terrorist attack. So it's a mask off moment here, I think, for a lot in the West specifically, or in general, but the UK specifically, like you said, man, there's some really dark, really nasty shit going on in the UK right now. And I think the entire Western world needs to be really, really sort of watching what's going on there, because as a cautionary tale, I think they're cooked, man. I don't think they're coming out of this. But maybe we can say, okay, well, if we don't want to be like the UK, maybe that will be the silver lining. Like, they're fucked. But maybe we can use it as a cautionary tale for the rest of us.
The problem is, and this is, by the way, before I continue with the pro-Palestine stuff, did you hear about the fact that the two people that got shot in that synagogue terrorist attack were shot by cops? So the guy had a fake bomb. All they could find is, I think, a knife on him. He had no firearm, and the two people that got shot were by police officers. Like, what the fuck is going on in the UK?
Probably pro-Palestinian protesters. I don't know, man. I don't know.
What is happening in the UK where terrorists don't have real bombs? They're not armed with guns. And the people that are shooting people are the police.
It's wild. It's wild. It's just, there's all kinds of fucked up shit here. Take a few of these comments here. Logan White says...
No, not yet. No, not yet. Let me go down. Oh, no. Oh, Jesus. That's just the first one. I just want to show you...
Okay.
It's because the video I showed you is what started this morning. And then I started clicking and... the beauty of Instagram is that you can collaborate with other people. I do it all the time, right? You collab with a bunch of other people. And then I started clicking on who those posts are collaborating with, and it turns out that those cells, like what I just showed you, the PYM in Montreal, there's one in Ottawa, there's one in Toronto, all the universities like McGill, Concordia, Toronto, University of Toronto, University of Ottawa are all part of the same groups. And you're talking, some of those accounts have 40,000-50,000 followers for a city. And not only that, but I want you to pay attention to the video I'm going to show you now. Look at the way the crowd is behind her, how the crowd is controlled, how the speaker has a little microphone wireless, and she's talking, screaming directly in the camera. And as I was digging and I'm going from accounts to accounts to accounts, they are all doing that. Every single one of them is doing the same thing, not only in Canada, but in the US, throughout the world. They're getting trained. You know, we talked to that Adam Swartz from Crowds on Demand.
Yep. The people who you can hire protesters from this guy.
But you know that there's groups out there like that are organized. There are people training them, because just look at, this is the type of video I'm talking about. Look at that.
Union leaders to students and healthcare workers, tens of thousands of people.
So we don't need to listen to the whole thing, but you see the type of video I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
The crowd is... Oh, no, but hold on. The crowd is like 3-4 feet behind them. You can see that people are back to her, so they're controlling the crowd so that the people are not getting too close to her. The way she's walking, speaking in her microphone. Just look at, this is PYM Toronto.
Yep.
Same thing, same day. Tell me that does not look like the exact same type. Like, she's talking in a tiny microphone in front of the crowd. So that's PYM Toronto. So that took place, look at this, man. That took place yesterday.
Oh yeah. No, this is definitely professional. It is, you know, there's money being put into it. There's people being trained. This is organized for sure.
Look at this. That guy doesn't have the wireless microphone. This is PYM Ottawa. But same type, right? The crowd is in the back. He's screaming in his cell phone. That's PYM. That's PYM Ottawa. Then one of the things you want to notice is this organization right there. Ottawa chapter of the, they all have that. Chapter of this.
It's a pretty big organization, and there's clearly money there, and there's clearly, like I said, there's some professionalism there.
804,000 followers. That's an account that almost has 1 million followers. Yeah. It's called the Palestinian Youth Movement, and that's what PYM stands for, right? So then you had Anastasia that contacted me, and she's like, "Hey Nico, did you hear about this?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" She sends me, hold on, she sends me those right here. It's it really deserves some more digging, but she sends me this. So that's one of her stories. So it basically said, nous sommes pas au Québec, nous sommes au Québec, pas à Gaza. Basically, it means we're not in Gaza, we're in Quebec here. They're basically, that is going on.
Interesting.
So it turns out that on October 7th, we all know what happened on October 7th.
It's a counter protest for the pro-Palestinian protest.
They are supposedly the people in Concordia. So that's Concordia University that you're seeing right here.
Yep.
Supposedly, and I'm going by what Anastasia is telling me, but supposedly that they're having, I guess you could call it a protest or a celebration or whatever you want to call it, just to say that it's for what happened on October 7th. And the reason this is happening is because, as per what she's telling me, I could not find this anywhere else, but I've seen that it did happen in the past years. Supposedly that the pro-Palestine people at Concordia University are pressuring their teachers to stop teaching on October 7th and on October 8th. So they're trying to stop classes on the 7th and the 8th in retaliation for October 7th. And I started doing some research because I was trying to find what she's talking about, because now I'm just using the information that she's providing. But then look at what I found. So this is where it's very interesting. Pow. So you have SPHR Concordia. So it's basically Student for Palestine Honor and Resistance. So you're talking about a group that has about 10,000 people. But then this is where things get interesting. Their first post right here, first tag post. You just clicked on it, and it just says, it starts showing Concordia University. Look, the same group that had 40,000 people earlier that protested, that 15,000 people in the street yesterday. PYM Montreal, they're connected.
Well, yeah,
they're collaborating with each other on all of those posts.
Sure they are. Sure they are. Like, this is... again, when you protest this much, you get pretty good at it. Like and you can't get groups or organizations this big without some actual professional organizations. There definitely are professional activists out there, professional protesters, and many of them are concentrated on the left for sure. And obviously, many of them are going to be involved in this specific issue. And now, as Trevor Benton says, what it is, people are starting to tribe up. Yeah, I think the second law of thermodynamics applies here. All right, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. I think that's obviously true in physics, but it's also true in social dynamics and human dynamics. You start to have, and frankly, I'm kind of surprised it took this long, because the pro-Pally crowd has had basically the room to themselves. They've had the floor to themselves for a very long time, and there hasn't really been a lot of pushback against it. Except in, some from the right for sure, but it hasn't been a big, broad pushback. I think people have been kind of scared. I think a lot of the Jews, a lot of Jewish people, Jewish students, even Jewish professors probably are scared, and they're kind of looking around being like, hold on, like, we're in the West here. I thought people were supposed to be against bigotry and anti-Semitism. And where are people standing up for us? Because as we spoke with Anastasia when she was here, like her, and she said all of the other Jewish students, they're physically fear for their physical safety.
But how can't you? I'm showing you thousands of people
creating
groups, and they're all associated with each other. And we're talking about public schools here. We're not talking about private companies that can do whatever the hell they want at this point. We're talking about universities that are funded by public funds here. This is what we're talking about. And look, this is for McGill. You click on their first one, but you click here. This is the McGill version of it, and you click at their others. They're connected to Concordia. They're connected to University of Toronto for Palestine. And I just started clicking on all of them, and literally most of the universities that are recognized to be in Canada all connect to each other through the Free Palestine or the Pro-Palestine movement, which I'm going to have to dig into it a lot more because I want to see how they're getting funded, because to me, it makes no sense. I guarantee you that I'm going to find funding that somehow comes from the government indirectly. Just like Antifa was getting funded.
I mean, I don't really particularly have an issue with a lot of these groups, working with each other. I would expect them to. Like that's like, Turning Point USA has many different turning points throughout the world, and they're also going to work together. But yeah, when you're talking, if government is involved in this, I'd have a huge problem with that. And frankly, I think that would be a scandal. And because this is a destructive protest. It has become a destructive protest. It is tearing at the social fabric. It is making Jewish citizens, fear for their lives, for their physical safety, and it is becoming a genuine threat to society. Now, that doesn't mean you don't allow it. You have to allow protests whether you like it or not. But we do not need the government funding it. We do not need universities. Should not be bending over backwards to accommodate this. No. The reason we had Anastasia on the show is because of that ridiculous
student handbook
that was given out. That was basically just pro-Palestine propaganda. Celebrating October 7th. Like, imagine being a Jewish student and you get that as your handbook. How could you feel safe?
And that's my point. Like, how do you feel safe with any other religious group that is not pro-Palestine? Because the whole if you start looking and they're all interconnected, I understand why Jewish students at those universities, like at McGill and Concordia, wouldn't feel comfortable being there or would feel threatened. I get it. I absolutely get why, because you see that they're all working with each other. But then the irony of this all is that it's reported that more than 100,000 Nigerian has been killed by an Islamic group in Nigeria over the past 5 to 10 years. Not a fucking peep for those same people. If you want to see it, that's a genocide. Do you want to see a genocide? 18,000 churches have been burnt down. However you feel about Christians, love us, hate us, that's fine. But you cannot be that hypocritical and tell me that I'm going to protest for Gaza, but I'm not going to protest for 100,000 Nigerian. Why, you racist or something? You don't like black people? Like, what is it? Why are you not protesting for what's happening in Nigeria? More than 100,000 Christians, bro. That's a shit ton of people. But just like Bill Maher said, he's like, there's no fun protesting that because it has nothing to do with Israel.
And that's kind of what it is, right? And that is an actual genocide. Like, a genocide is you're trying to slaughter an entire people. Israel is not committing genocide in Gaza. If they wanted to slaughter every Palestinian,
it would have been done.
They could. Yeah. They could do it, right? Now, is Netanyahu a war criminal? Yeah, I think he probably is. I think he's probably committing some serious crimes against humanity. And if they can be proven, and I would support him being brought in from some sort of court of justice, whatnot. But it's not a genocide, right? And we do need to be accurate with our words here. Now, what you said reminded me of something. Hold on. Okay.
I just wanted to take that one. I saved that one. What's up, Canada? What's going on, brother? Long time no see. I've recorded with him before.
Oh, nice.
He's a good dude. Schools are the child soldier factories of the cultural revolution designed to divide and conquer.
Well, that it always has been, right? If you the history of everywhere, like if the cultural revolution in China, with Mao Zedong, they went to the students, right? It was the students, and they brainwashed those people so hard. The students were out there killing their parents and persecuting their parents and their uncles. And
they did the same thing in Cuba, right? They always go after the students. Always go after the students.
Well, because you can indoctrinate young minds, right? They're moldable. But what you said about the Nigerian genocide there, like Chris H says, there are people protesting on my street because they can't tolerate the mass murder anymore in Palestine. It makes me sick. I don't know, Chris. Do you really think it's genuinely because they can't tolerate the mass murder in Palestine? Because if that was it, why do they tolerate the mass murder in all the other places? Like, why do they tolerate the Nigerian genocide? Why do they tolerate the Uyghurs, or however you pronounce that? The Chinese government is committing genocide against the Uyghurs. Why didn't they protest against the Yazidi Christians who were wiped out by the ISIS and all the other Islamic Jihad? Why is that? Why is it just this one? So when you see that, it does make me question the credibility. Like, is it really about murder as a general, or genocide as a general principle? Because if it was, you think they would give a shit about the other genocides, but it's not. It isn't. It's just this one. And so I'm not even saying that they don't have a right to protest. Of course they do. And they may have good reasons to do it. But I think most of those reasons, honestly, I just think so much of the woke left is just superficial and trendy. It's their buddies are protesting, so they're going down there. No one really gives a shit about this.
They need to protest.
They don't even know what they're protesting. Like, if I mean, any of those people, if they know anything about the two countries, or Gaza and Israel, if you ask them, where would you want to live? They'd say Israel, right? Because
no, they'd probably say Gaza.
Because they're idiots. Because they're idiots, right? But if they actually know what the facts on the ground are, they would say Israel, because Israel is the only country that has anything remotely similarity to progressive values, progressive ideas. It's it's an actual multicultural society. Everything that, like, the actual people in Gaza, they despise everything that these people stand for. So it doesn't even make any sense until you just, like, as Bill Mayer said, it's actually, maybe it's just about hating Jews and really hating everything to do with the West.
When you look at their main representative, Greta Thunberg, that made a name for herself for climate change protests, it's the same people.
Yeah,
the people that were protesting for climate change, they then switched to BLM. When BLM wasn't cool anymore, they went back to climate change. When climate change wasn't cool anymore, they found something else, and it's pro-Palestine. Antifa people have been part of the protest from the get-go. They just don't have anything better to do than to fucking protest. But the thing is I know for a fact, I just need to prove where the money comes from. They're funded and organized, because there's no way that a bunch of idiot 20-year-olds are all organizing that on a worldwide stage. I don't believe it for a second. There are people training them. They all do. I showed you 3 different places, just Ottawa, Toronto, Montreal. They speak exactly the same in a microphone a few feet in front. Like, it's the same. And I could have went through that page, that official page with 800,000 followers, and you can see there's some in the US, there's some overseas, there's some in Canada. They all do the same thing. The speeches are very similar. They all look at the camera straight up. This is not something that you start doing on your own. As somebody that creates fucking content every day, you need training to become good at this. It takes time.
Oh, for sure you do.
They got trained. They got fucking trained to do this. So there's a problem somewhere. And they're getting funded, and I want to know where that money comes from. I really want to know. I want to see if there's a connection between our taxpayers' money, just like we saw connection with Antifa through the Canadian Anti-Hate Network.
I mean, that's where I would, I think it's worth looking into, and if any government dollars are going into that, that's in my mind a scandal. But I don't find it that hard to believe that there are, enough rich billionaires out there to fund this kind of stuff. George Soros. Yeah, exactly, right. He's putting a good chunk of change into it. But you never know, right? Like, this seems like the kind of thing that, like, USAID was all about, right? All about funding and stuff. No, Chris. So Chris says, all I can say, Rob, is you got to research the Palestine conflict. You won't get it until you read the history and see the village of Palestinians children with limbs. No, I get it. I just, in my experience, the vast majority of people who are out there protesting don't actually give a shit, because they don't really know what they're doing. And the fact of the matter is, you're going to be able to see lots of Israelis with limbs hanging off and babies in the oven too. Like, there's a lot of shitty stuff going on. And don't get me wrong, I'm not any sort of Israel supporter. I'm not carrying any water. I think Israel's doing really a lot of terrible, terrible things. I think they're probably almost certainly committing war crimes. But the Palestinians are doing some pretty nice shit too. And that's just a fucked up society, man. And I even understand why it's fucked up. I get it. But, like, this idea that, like, oh, we need to open our door. No, we do fucking not. We absolutely do not need to open our doors to any of these people. They grew up in a very, even if you were to support the cause, you have to recognize that these people are, like, heavily traumatized, heavily, they all got all kinds of PTSD. And a lot of, we've all seen the videos, right, of the 6-year-olds being taught in school how to be suicide bombers. You see the the parents who will say like their greatest the greatest hope is that their child will grow up to be a martyr. Like, that's pretty messed up, man. Your greatest hope is your child's going to grow up and blow themselves up.
Bob, nice to see you. And referring to Greta Thunberg, she's a paid actor. They are called trauma actor.
I think she gets well paid for what she does. Yeah, for sure.
But hold on, like, what's up, Canada 2.0? Greta's humanitarian aid flotilla forgot the humanitarian supplies. They only brought publicity with them.
Yeah, exactly.
And this is my point.
They had so many people on there. They were eating all the humanitarian supplies.
But she is the main face of that protest. She's been protesting for the Free Palestine from the get-go. As soon as it started becoming popular, she switched so fast that we forgot that she was the same one that told us that we should be ashamed of ourselves because she can't be in school. It's, I don't understand how people don't see it, that it's just people with nothing else to do. Those kids are getting indoctrinated. Again, just look at the book, the student booklet from Concordia, what every single of the 40,000 students at Concordia are given. It's all Free Palestine, pro-Hamas indoctrination in your booklet, like your student handbook. That is what they're getting.
It's got no place there. It's just got no place. Like, everyone has a right to protest and support whatever cause they want, for sure. But the university does not need to be complicit. The university does not need to be staying out. I think, as Arad says, I try to stay out of the Israel-Gaza conflict personally. I think that's how both me and Nico feel. Frankly,
I just don't like that it affects here. And I'm tired.
One way or the other.
I'm tired of it being here. This is what I'm tired of.
That's it.
This is fucking Canada. It ain't Israel, and it ain't fucking Palestine either.
If the pro-Israeli crowd were shutting down fucking streets, I'd be saying fuck those people too, right? I don't really give a shit one way or the other. There's bad people on both sides, people doing horrible things on all sides. It's just not our concern, right? It's not our issue. It's not our problem. We got enough problems here. Let's fix our own problems first.
100%. And that's my whole point. I am tired of seeing our youth being in the street protesting this shit when they should be protesting 10 years of liberal policies, that they will not be able to buy a house. This is what those kids should be protesting.
That's
and the fact that our liberal government is trying to pass Bill C2, C8, C9, Bill C63 again, they want to take their rights away. They want to censor them. They want to have consequences that you could spend your life in prison for hate speech. This is what's coming in Canada.
Right?
And those fucking twats are protesting for Palestine. Give me a fucking break.
Yeah, we got bigger fish.
Give me a fucking break.
Bigger fish to fry, guys. Penguin P says, come on, Rob, it's more than PTSD. These people are radicalized and they hate the West. Yeah, I mean, I think I definitely agree with you here. I'm trying to be diplomatic a little bit. But yeah, I mean, these are the heavily radicalized people. And you could even say, well, of course they're radicalized. Look how they grew up. Sure, fair. I get it. Still don't want them. Especially don't want them, frankly.
Chris H is saying, what's suggestion? If you guys could interview the Canadian journalist Eve Engler, he would explain this whole issue to you. We get it. We understand what the issue is. The point is that I don't
terrible things. No, we get it.
But hold on. I just don't give a fuck what's going on over there. There's nothing I can do about it. What I care about is that 1 out of 5 Canadian household cannot afford food. That's what bothers me. I'm tired that our youth is in the street protesting for some dumb shit that's going on the other side of the fucking world, when our government right here is trying to take our freedoms away. They're trying to take our guns away. They're trying to censor us through Bill C2, C8, C9, and Bill C63. They can't afford to buy a fucking house. If you're not a boomer, chances are you won't get a house if you're in your 20s and your 30s right now. You're going to have to be top 10% of the people in order to be able to afford one. That's a hard fucking fact. Yet, they're fucking protesting for people that are doing horrible shit, that have been doing horrible shit for thousands of years now. Not our fucking problem. How about we address what's going on here? And this is what bothers me, is that they're so indoctrinated that they want to help people want to help, although I don't believe it for a second, but let's play devil's advocate. How about you help people right here? How about you help yourself? How about you go after your own government for what they've been doing for the past 10 years to our economy? This is what blows my mind. Why are they not protesting what matters?
Yeah, Chris, and I it's not that like we just don't know enough, and if we knew, we'd be outraged. We know about it. There's bad things happening everywhere. Like I would, and you know, Chris, again, don't want to like pick on you because I appreciate your comments. You know, you're a pretty regular viewer here, and it's always nice to have someone on the other side to push back. I would ask you, why don't you care about the genocide of Christians in Nigeria? It's 61,000. I just looked it up. 61,000 Christians have been killed. Why don't you care? Why don't you care about the again, I don't know how to pronounce it, Uyghurs or whatever in China, where they're just slaughtering them? Do you care about the Yazidi Christians being slaughtered by? It's like, I just, why pick this one and make it such a part of, and I don't mean you personally, I mean the people who are doing it, what part of their identity. And if it's just that you just really, really can't stand genocide, fair. But I'm going to be a little skeptical when there's other ones going on and you don't give a shit about it, right? Like, what is it about this one specifically that makes this so much worse that it gets all your attention, but none of the other ones do? It's fair to be anti-genocide.
Because it's everywhere, because the marketing behind it is incredible. There's just no marketing behind the Nigeria Christian. They're being slaughtered by the tens of thousands. And
well, because
your estimate of 61
give a shit about Christians. They don't give a shit about Christians, right?
Yeah, yet the only reason they enjoy the freedom that they do today is because Christians build this fucking country in North America as a whole. But their 61,000 estimate is low. Like I've seen anywhere from 30 to about 150, depending on which source you take from. That's why I say 100, because it's about in the middle somewhere. But there's let's say that there's tens of thousands of Christians being slaughtered in Nigeria. Nobody gives a fuck. It took a Jewish guy by the name of Bill Maher to really talk about it, and then when he addressed it, people are like, "What the fuck is going on?" But I just want to take this one again, because What's Up Canada is dropping some knowledge here. It's the Rage and Victimhood Olympic. Smoke and mirrors while the government keeps the agenda rolling. And this is my exact point. They're censoring us. They're trying to pass 4 bills right now that will literally take our freedoms away, that will enable the government to read our mail through Canada Post without a warrant, that will allow the Canada to not have payments over $10,000 cash, remember? And remember what John Carpe said. As soon as that becomes law, you can slide it down to $500 if you want, to $50 if you want, because it's already there. You have a bill that wants to censor us, Bill C2, that they can spy on your phone, on your fridge, on your TV, anything intelligent, install spyware on there, remove it and not tell you about it. That's the type of powers they want. They want to be able to put you in jail. Bill C-63 to put you in jail for saying something that hurts somebody's feelings. This is what's coming up, and the best that they can do is fucking
this is what you're spending your time on, and we'll end on this because guys, if you remember, we're cutting the show short to an hour now. But I just did some quick searching, and you said that 61,000 number is low. The total number of casualties in the Gaza war is 69,000. So, I mean, like, they're in the same ballpark, and probably more in the Nigerian one. So if it's just about numbers, then, again, you know, but of course it isn't, right? It isn't really about numbers. It isn't about the Palestinians. It's about, you know, being able to launder Jew hatred, frankly. And I'm not saying everyone who's pro-Palestine hates Jews. I get that. I think a lot of people are doing it in good faith, but it's, you know, it's trendy. It's what they look out when they see their window. Many of their friends are going, so they're like, yeah, okay, I'll go too. And it's not that, you know, a lot of people don't actually understand what it is exactly they're protesting. Guys, we're gonna pin it there because as we said earlier, we are going to try to keep this to an hour for the algorithm. But excellent conversations tonight, guys. Excellent questions. Appreciate all the audience engagement. If you are tuning in for the first time, as you can see, this show is heavily based on audience engagement. So please stick around. Please like and share the stream. If you really want to support us, you can become a member for the low price of $2.99 per month. Through YouTube, you can also buy us a coffee in the top right corner. And no matter what, though, make sure you come back and give us your comments, because that's what the show thrives on. Other than that, I just want to take this last one from Chris, because I did kind of call him out a little bit. He said, I'm worried about all of it. If I had the time, I'll explain where I stand on all these issues. So much going on, it's hard to keep track of. Fair point, Chris. Again, don't want to seem like I'm picking on you. I appreciate you, brother. You're pretty low. You're a pretty regular viewer of the show, and I do appreciate your often contrarian viewpoint. Other than that, guys, have an excellent night, and we will catch you tomorrow, same time, same place. Peace.